Hello, everyone. My name is Tunahan from SocialPeta. Very warm welcome to all our attendees and our webinar speakers. It's so exciting to be here. Thank you for all being here. Our webinar is about mobile user growth, user acquisition, and App Store optimization trends to watch for in 2023. Today, we are going to discuss many interesting topics and useful topics. We have two industry experts from AdQuantum and ShyftUp. Today, we are going to discuss adaptation strategies for customers in response to the current economic climate and the state of the mobile industry, like the impact of tightening budgets and privacy changes on marketers' approaches to creating a proper channel mix in 2023. And today, we are also going to discuss AI's influence on user acquisition and App Store optimization trends in 2023. And we are also going to discuss specific ASO audits and UA audits. And the format of our webinar will be like a panel discussion, and I will be asking questions to our speakers, and they will share their experiences and insights. I will introduce our speakers, but first let me introduce myself. I'm Tunahan. I work at SocialPeta as a key account manager since last year, August. I'm in charge of Turkey and Israel market operations, and today I will be the moderator at the webinar. So now let's start introducing our speakers. We have Nadia Bogdanova, BD Manager from AdQuantum. Hello, Nadia, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here, and thank you for inviting.
Can you introduce us a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Nadia. I'm represented Quantum. We are marketing team that make user acquisition for mobile apps, for different web products. I've been working with Quantum almost 3 years, and during these 3 years, got huge experience in different categories of the apps and of the product. So very happy to be with Quantum, and very happy to be on this panel.
Thank you so much, Nadia. And we have Ege Onat Doğuşlu, User Acquisition Manager from ShyftUp. Welcome, Ege. Can you introduce us?
Thank you, Tanan. It's a great pleasure to be with all of you today, and welcome to our attendees too. So yeah, as you said, I'm Ege. I've been working in ShyftUp. I think we're now closing in up on 2 years, and I work as a user acquisition manager. As ShyftUp, we're pretty much a user acquisition agency, and we're based out of San Francisco, and we're pretty much specialized in ASO, Google UAC, Apple search ads, and other paid social channels. We're all-inclusive agency, which means we do design and the rest of the UA operations in-house. So very happy to be here with you guys today.
Thank you for the introduction again, Nadia. And let's start our panel discussion, because we have lots of topics to cover and important topics. Today, we are going to first start about the current economic climate and the state of the mobile industry. We know that the economic climate and the state of the mobile industry were shaping the strategies, approaches, and business processes of app developers in some ways. My question will be we are going to discuss how the current economic climate and the state of the mobile industry are forcing your customers to adopt strategies, approaches, and business processes. And I want to start with Ege. What do you think this discussion topic? Can you share your insights, Ege?
Yeah, everybody's pretty much dwelling on this economic downturn that we've had in the past, maybe 1.5, 2 years. Obviously, mobile industry is another industry that's being impacted by it. From our experience, our clients and the majority of the industry is trying to be as cost-effective as they can be, which means our prior goals of acquiring users from a top of funnel cost unit base are pretty much shifting towards more revenue focused approaches. Our budgets are pretty much on the tighter end, and our target goals for acquiring users are pretty much tied to the revenue that we're able to, or our clients are able to generate from those users. So it's been getting tight, but yeah, every tunnel has its light at the end. So we're hoping to get get back to the olden, more relaxed way of user acquisition. Also, we're seeing that a lot of apps are pretty much trying to leverage ASO because it's a more cost-effective way for you to optimize your user acquisition right from the get-go. So if you can pretty much improve the visibility of your app, and then if you can improve your conversion rate, the conversion rate that your app has, you're pretty much essentially moving the needle for yourself in a positive way by acquiring more users and putting your app out there in the app store. So we've seen a lot of demand coming our way from a lot of clients in this downturn era. So I can share that. That's pretty much it that I wanted to share. Yeah, being most cost effective, diversifying, ROI-driven approaches being like tighter, and then ASO being championed among all of the channels that there's out there.
Okay, that's so informative. You are saying that the mobile industry is going like cost-effective promotion strategies because of the budgets, and there's a revenue concerns. Of course, we know that. So this is the current situation, you think?
Yeah,
so do you,
pretty much.
Okay, thank you. And Nadia, do you have any opinions about this topic?
Yes, sure. I agree that right now all clients trying to be more effective, more cautious, how to split the budgets, how to make the media mix, proper media mix. But I would say that I'm happy for our clients because most of them consider such situation more like new opportunities to find something new, to test new, and to find the points for growth, maybe to analyze better their campaigns, and to find the problems, to resolve it very fast and very effective. And that's why, like, we currently also receive a lot of requests about the audit of the media buying, of the creative strategy, because in general, clients trying to be the most effective as they want, and to make their campaigns very properly. And I would say that so we work with different categories and with different company size. So among our clients, we have big one and small companies. And I would say that the big companies, they really take this time to find new opportunities, not only about how to make the user acquisition campaigns better, but also to adapt a little bit their products, to maybe to create some new products more for which they have and they see more demand, more interest of their users. So for big clients, I would say this is a period of finding new opportunities of growth. For small clients and medium-sized companies, they more about like to take their waiting position, to wait what's going on in the market. Some clients slow down and just keep a certain amount of budgets and no steps right, no steps left. So they just follow their plans. But in general, they feel very, I would say, very good. I would say also that the gaming, so we work a lot with the gaming industry, and gaming industry suffer more, especially last, I would say, maybe 2 years. They experienced this recession and all this turbulence more than in other companies. So most of our clients just reduce budgets, reduce the number of creative package they ordered from our team. But in general, yes, as Age said, there is a light in the end. So we hope the situation will become better and better.
Okay, thank you. And from my understanding, you are saying that it will also open new opportunities for app developers. Yeah. So the current state of the economic climate is also opening new possibilities, new opportunities for app developers. This is maybe a good way to look at from different perspective.
Absolutely, yes.
And from my view, and there's also market saturation and competition, and the mobile app market has become highly saturated with millions of apps available across various categories. And to stand out from the competition, app developers were focusing on developing unique value propositions, of offering innovative features and providing exceptional user experiences. And this is also a good way because of the competition, app developers focusing on developing new technologies and adapting technologies, because technological advancements are also increasing. We are also going to discuss AI impact because of the technological advancements. So the mobile industry is constantly evolving. So moving to the next discussion topic. My next discussion topic, like Scan 4.0, came with important changes such as multiple post bags, crowd anonymity, and support for app-to-web measurement. So Nadia, how do you think app owners should approach this transition? Do you have any suggestions for this?
Yeah, so right now it's a good news that Apple released the Scan 4, and this is, but I think this is the first step. Apple move forward to have the better attribution, to give the chance to the marketers to have a better understanding of their campaigns. So, for example, before Scan 4 didn't support web to app campaigns, which is very crucial for the marketers, because web to app, it's like a new channel to attract new users. But what is more important, using the web to app funnel, marketers can analyze the traffic, analyze the campaigns, and to see which sources perform better. However, of course, web to app will be available only for Safari. So marketers need to adapt and to see how to launch good campaigns and to analyze it through this channel. But of course, I think this is like just a first step. In the future, I hope it will be adapt to new channels, and the web to app will be available to track on any ad platforms. And still, so right now, not many platforms adopt to the Scan 4. For example, like Meta will launch its beta version only maybe like in the end of June or July. So my suggestion to the marketers, keep attention and keep tracking the news. And just to take this time where Scan is just released to learn more about these tools, to read a lot of articles, videos, and maybe some kind of webinars like we do to understand how it will work, to prepare themselves for the time when Scan 4 will work properly on all ad networks, and use it from the very beginning like a professional. So yeah, this is like my main suggestion for now, because I think Scan 4 will work in like full maybe in the end of the year, I think.
Okay, so you are saying that app owners should approach this transition by first familiarizing themselves with the new features and capabilities of Scan 4.0.
Yes, to track new features, to read about it, how it should work, to check whether their product are ready to make these updates. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the insight. And again, do you have any opinions about this topic?
Well, honestly, not. Nadia pretty much covered everything that I wanted to share too. You know, there's news every once in a while. There's very important, updates, and people should like keep an eye on what's going on. We're pretty much tracking every news on a daily basis, so we're aware, but a lot of developers are not. So gotta be on top of your game, and got to be following the news pretty much.
Okay, thank you for the insight. And moving to the next discussion topic, we know that tightening budgets are a big problem, and how tightening budgets and privacy changes are going to change marketers' approaches to creating a proper channel mix in 2023. Again, what do you think about this?
Well, as I said in the first question too, people are changing their pretty much strategies nowadays, and ASO has become very important because obviously with a tight budget, you pretty much can prioritize the organic side of your user acquisition efforts. So ASO has become more important, and it's going to be more important moving forward. We're seeing that tendency. So one thing that I wanted to mention was obviously ASO. And also for the paid side, people are obviously looking for cost-effective channels. With all the privacy updates, etc., it's gotten a little bit harder to measure how your campaigns are doing and how you're acquiring users. So as we leverage these two channels, Apple Search Ads and Google Ads, I can pretty much say that these two have become more important for a lot of our clients for acquiring users, because obviously with Apple Search Ads, you're not pretty much limited with scan, and then also with Google Ads, obviously it's been very straightforward, and it's been a really great channel for our clients. So these three have become very important in the marketing mix for a lot of our clients. And then also with tightening budgets, if you're not able to acquire in a cost-effective way, you gotta pretty much focus on retention and engagement. So retention and engagement activities, I'm pretty much, as far as I'm aware of, have gotten very much more important for a lot of apps. And testing out different channels is something that people should do. Obviously, with a tight budget, testing a lot of channels, it can be really hard. So our experience has been great with Apple Search Ads and Google Ads. I could pretty much suggest, giving those two a shot, especially for Apple Search Ads. You're pretty much capturing a demand. People are searching for a term, and then you're pretty much capturing a demand. So and the measurement pretty much is better. So it can be a great channel for a lot of apps to acquire users, especially for subscription-based apps or utility apps. So I could suggest people try these channels out.
Okay, thank you for the insights. And Nadia, do you have any opinions about this?
Yes, I agree with that right now that platforms and the channels where marketers can measure their results, they need to be like on the top priority for them. It's absolutely. But I also would like to add that marketers should consider the channels where there is no fraud, because if we're talking about social networks, it's okay, there is no fraud, it's quite good traffic channels. However, for example, for mobile apps, there are a lot of in-app networks. Some of them are good, some of them have some fraud, but in general, to test new channels and to find new audience, it's always a good it's a good practice to do this. So I would suggest to marketers to test reliable networks where platforms support any anti-fraud solutions, to have understanding that traffic is good, it's not a fraud. And of course, as right now, marketers trying to make everything to hit the positive ROI and to have very effective campaigns. So it's very important to see what are the tools for optimization on the channels. If on the in-app networks you can optimize on ROIs and ROAS, go for it. It's a good tool. You will have the opportunity to optimize on the target event, on your KPIs event. if there is only tool to have a optimization on CPI, for example, maybe it's not for your product. So of course, you need to know your audience, you need to know your product, and based on your knowledge of your product, to choose the channels. Because right now, there are so many channels you can use. And of course, for example, for some clients, for example, for fintech clients, there are a lot of regulations, and Facebook and Google is not the channel for them because of the regulations. So they have to look at the alternative sources, to the in-app networks, to programmatic networks, because this is the channels for them. But you need to choose the good quality partners. So this is my suggestion.
Okay, thank you. As Ege and Nadia, you said, diversification of channels are very important. From my view, marketers may need to diversify their channel mix to reduce dependence on a single platform or channel. This could involve exploring alternative platforms or channels beyond traditional apps, as Nadia, you said. Maybe they can find some new app stores, social media platforms. For example, marketers may invest in emerging app stores. We see that lots of emerging app stores at the moment, and like niche app communities or industry-specific platforms to reach targeted audiences. So diversification of channels is also important. And because of the budget problems, maybe they should also check. They should also be very careful about their budgets. For example, in our SocialPeta platform, we have a cost intelligence, and we provide benchmark for specific categories to each country. So our clients check which benchmark they can adopt when they campaign. For example, they can check CPI in specific country and for specific category. So we also provide this in our channel, in our platform, to help our customers for cost intelligence. So this is also an important topic because tightening budgets is a big problem, and we need to find creative ways to solve this issue. So thank you for your sharings, and I would like to move to the next discussion part. Now, I am so curious about to learn ASO audits and UA audits. And Nadia, you can start from UA audits, for example. What are the UA audits, and can you tell your experience with UA audits?
Yes, sure. Thank you very much for this question. It's very interesting, and I think right now it's a very popular service that can be like, for example, we here in AdQuantum, we provide audits to the mobile apps, and it's, by the way, it's free of charge. So why marketers come to us with this request? Because as we discussed before, right now it's crucial for marketers to understand that they are doing right things, and they need to find new ways how to grow. So when we do the audits of the apps, I would say that we split it to the three areas. So we do audit of the technical parts, so how the MMP system and ad platform integrated, all another settings that can be useful for the setting campaigns. So it's like a technical part. Second part, it's user acquisition campaigns itself. So all the media buying process, how the team do optimization, what they test. So we make a big review of their campaigns. And the third part, it's audit of the creative strategy. Creatives, it's not a secret, it's very important for the campaigns, especially when the client work on a huge scale, use a lot of different platforms. You need to have creatives tailored for different audience, tailored for different ad platforms. And sometimes it's really challenging for the in-house team to produce a vast amount of the creatives. Actually, like, we also do creative production like a separate service. So yeah, this is what we where we have a huge experience, and we really can make a good overview to our clients. So, and Usually when we make the audit, we give our clients a big review of their campaigns and highlight the points of growth. Sometimes it's only about the creative, sometimes it's about the media buying process. But we have actually in our blog in AdQuantum, we have a detailed article where we're describing how we do the audit and what it can bring to the clients. And the most important, how it can boost the campaigns. So I think it will be good if we can leave the link for this article to the comments, and people who are interested can read it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, go on.
Yeah, small remark also in regards of creative. Recently, for example, with the fitness and health apps, we have very big clients in these categories, and we did a very big review of the creative strategy of different kind of apps and web platforms. So it's very interesting to see what big market players do, what approach they are testing, and of course what approach perform very well. So we also have this kind of a report, I would say, and we will share it as a link, or maybe the visitors of our webinar can reach me in LinkedIn. I can send it directly.
Okay,
It's
thank
only
you so
about
much.
health. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So those are specific UA audits you are providing, and they are very impressive to hear that. So it was very informative. Thank you so much for that. And do you have any opinions, again, for this question? UA audits and ASO audits?
Yeah, Nadia pretty much summarized the UI side, paid UI side, really great. For ASO, so there are layers to ASO. So there's the proactive layer and the reactive layer. So the proactive layer consists of pretty much following the rules of the App Store that you're pretty much publishing your app in. So every App Store, even if it's Apple, if it's Google, or Android, sorry, have their pretty much best practices and rules set for the ASO. So we've been doing a lot of ASO audits for a lot of potential clients, and we see that even big apps pretty much can have maybe redundant keywords in their metadata, or don't have don't leverage the whole space of characters that they can use in the title, subtitle, or they don't have clear and concise descriptions where pretty much it is not possible for a natural language processing algorithm to understand what their app is all about, and then rank them for the keywords that they want to rank for. And also the screenshot set that the apps have really plays an important role for their conversion rate. So we do audits for those two. So we see a lot of apps that don't pretty much have their key value propositions laid out very clear and concisely throughout their screenshot set, or don't have the actual app experience laid out in their screenshots. So a potential user may see the screenshots and may stumble upon the app and not understand what pretty much it offers to the user. So they might pretty much decide not to install it. So there are a lot of lacking things that can app have. So the ASO audits in our experience really can lay out the errors and low-hanging fruits for a lot of apps. So we're also doing ASO audits. People can visit our website, ShyftUp.com, and request an ASO audit. Would be more than happy to sit down and talk and show them the low-hanging fruits they might have. So that's pretty much the ASO audit from our side.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have covered UA audit and ASO audits. For UA audit, maybe Nadia mentioned that creatives are very important and the competition is very high. From our perspective as SocialPeta, we know that quality is much more important than quantity when it comes to ad creatives, especially because of the competition and because of the budgets. So marketers need to check their competitors' ad creatives, as they should get ad data. So as SocialPeta, we can spy on our customers' competitors' data, and they can get ad data from networks, media, and advertisers around the world. So we cover nearly 70 countries and regions. We provide, we cover 70 well-known channels. And so creating creatives are very important in this matter. So quality is much more important. So marketers need to rely on more high quality ad creatives. So as SocialPeta, we provide this. And anyone if is interested in our webinar to check our creative platform, and they can check their competitors, I would be also glad to help them. And I think we have covered this topic, and we can move to the next part. And this part, I think, is very interesting, because there's a big trend that AI is going to change many things. So we think that AI is also going to change user acquisition and app store optimization in 2023. So this is a very hot and trend topic these days. And I think many of our audiences want to know about these questions answered. So now let's start with Ege. Ege, how AI is going to change user acquisition and app store optimization in 2023?
Well, great question. I'm pretty sure I'll be leaving out a lot of stuff that's going to be potentially available to a lot of people. So the industry is evolving pretty much. But maybe I can start with the ASO side. So AI is a great tool to pretty much do keyword research. So if you know, I don't know, there's a product called Bard, which pretty much is really, you know, capable of supplying us with great like soft keyword research. So people can leverage pretty much AI to maybe determine the initial steps of their ASO strategy and where to start. Also, AI powered like script writing is big now, so people can get the help they need to, you know, pretty much create the textual assets that they may want to create in for, you know, putting them as maybe long descriptions. So that's another step that AI is going to be like really helpful to a lot of people do. So that's these simple steps for a beginning. And I think the next steps are going to be, you know, I'm pretty sure everybody saw the creatives that AI can pretty much create with, you know, light inputs. So I'm pretty sure screenshot creating or asset creating is going to be another field that AI is going to be playing a huge role in. Creative optimization. I know a lot of products are shifting towards AI to, you know, optimize their creatives. So these are the three fields that I can imagine of now. But everything comes up in my mind while Nadia gives her examples. I'll be contributing.
Yes, creatives right now. So we see a lot of creatives developed by AI, and they are amazing sometimes. The colors, the features they do, it's really great job. And to my mind, AI are going to make like significant impact of the UA to the UA campaigns, and because there are so many tools that powered by AI. It's not only creatives or a chat where you can like make the keywords, but also and what like we see from our side, and it's really very good tools for automation of user acquisition campaigns. So for example, even like big players like Meta and Google, they announced some new tools for optimization campaigns powered by AI. It's like Performance Max for Google and Sandbox for Meta. So it's really a lot of different tools, and the marketers need to also pay attention and really use what's going on in the market, because mobile markets, it's so rapidly changing area, and right now with all this hype of AI products, you really like every week you have something new. But I would like to highlight from my opinion, AI will give the biggest impact on the some very useful tools that already in the market, and then already marketers use them, and such as, for example, predictive analytics tools with problems. So with iOS 14 and with CAD campaigns, where users where the clients who target iOS users, they suffer from the analytics, and they cannot understand clearly which traffic goes from which channels, and what will be the returns. And for this reason, there are a lot of predictive analytics tools, which helps actually the marketers to preview the results in regards of the ROAS, and to predict the returns, and based on the big data to make the very good and very accurate prediction. So in now, we work with mostly with subscription-based apps, and for them it's crucial to understand when and what will be the amount of returns in the future, because our clients have period 6 months and more when they will receive their returns back, but we cannot wait so long to see, oh, if it's real, we have the returns. We need to make decisions right now, right here, right now. And that's why predictive analytics is a very great tool. And most of them based on AI. And it's very useful. So for subscription-based apps, for gaming industry, it's absolutely must-have product. So another area where I think AI will have biggest impact, it's of course the automation of the campaign optimization. So we know all different kind of DSPs, the demand-side platform with its programmatic ads. Right now, we see more players on the market where you need download the creatives, put your KPIs, and put the button, and the machine learning platform will do everything from you. Of course, it's something very interesting that I think can save time. I wouldn't say that they can save money right now, because still these platforms have quite expensive traffic, but of course it's quality also. And for me, it's interesting how these tools for automated optimization will develop in the future, because I think it will work better and better, because the bigger data they have, the better results and the better algorithms the platform will build. So it's interesting to keep an eye on such tools. And of course, I would say again about the fraud, because it's quite actual points for many marketers who use in-app networks. Right now, I started to see more fraud detection and prevention tools, such as Sion and Advanced AI. It's some of the tools. Using these tools, you can predict the fraud. So it's good anti-fraud solutions for the marketers. It's also based on AI, and it's something new on the market. So I think it will have also a very big impact on the market.
Okay, thank you so much. They were very informative topic, and we have learned from two of you a lot of things about AI. And from my view, it's important to note that the extent and the impact of AI on user acquisition and App Store optimization in 2020, of course, will depend on the advancements in AI technology, like industry trends or regulatory considerations, because there are some regulatory considerations about AI as well. So we know that AI is a rapidly evolving field. Its actual impact on user acquisition ASO may differ in the future, may be different in the future. So I think app developers need to stay updated on the latest AI developments and explore how they can leverage AI tools and techniques to optimize their user acquisition and app store optimization efforts. This is my view, and we will see what will happen in the future, because it's an evolving thing. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So I think we have covered a lot of important points in this discussion topic, and I would like to start another discussion topic. It's also an important topic. I think we know that Apple's peer group benchmark, we have heard about it, but maybe we don't know about it so much. So I would like to ask again, what is your experience with Apple's peer group benchmark, and how has your experience, and maybe do you find it useful or not? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So it's a relatively new data point or analytics side of App Store Connect, where you can pretty much benchmark your own app and compare it to your own, compared to the rest of the apps that you have in your category. And you can also compare by the size of the app. So if you're a big app, if you want to compare yourself with the big apps in your category, you can pretty much compare yourself with them, and you can compare yourself with free apps that are in your category, and then the paid apps that are in your category. So you can pretty much benchmark yourself, how you're doing from a conversion rate standpoint, maybe, or crashes standpoint, maybe, with the industry. So, after laying these out, I think a lot of people will think that it's pretty much very useful, because obviously you can benchmark yourself with your competitors, and you can have somewhat of an insight from your own category or apps that are pretty much like yours. But if you take one step closer and get inside the actual benchmark report, you'll see that a lot of things may trick you into thinking that your app is not doing well, or thinking that your app is doing great. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you're pretty much benchmarking your conversion rate with your category, and then if the vast amount of your traffic is coming from browse, which means you can be an app that is pretty much frequently featured in the App Store, and you have a lot of browse traffic that is coming your way, your conversion rate will definitely be lower, on the lower side, because browse traffic is not as, the users that are coming from the browse channel, that may have like stumbled upon your app in the Today's tab, or top charts, etc., are less likely to download your app when they enter the product page, because they're not as opinionated, or they're not as informed as the traffic that is coming from the search directly. So another app may have a lot of their traffic coming in from the search, and then you could see yourself at a point where your conversion rate is very low compared to your peers, because the way Apple reports also the way Apple reports the conversion rate, for example, is downloads per impressions. And then if you have a lot of impressions coming in from browse, etc., that's gonna ultimately make your app suffer, or look like it suffers from a conversion rate standpoint. So it might be benchmarks are great, and if you have some data, like rather than not, it's good. but people should take it a little bit of a grain of salt, because things might be misleading in that regard, if that made sense. So we recently had this experience with one of our clients. Pretty much we're working to improve their App Store presence and for their ASO partner. And when they entered the benchmark report, they were curious why their conversion rate was considered, on the slightly lower side when they, pretty much benchmark their conversion rate with the other category apps. And then after diving deep in, because they had a lot of featurings in the App Store, because they had a lot of traffic coming in from browse, that's why they had a lot of impressions, and then the conversion rate looked, to be suffering. So again, it can be pretty much misleading. Another thing is, even if Apple said, okay, I'll just benchmark your search traffic conversion rates and compare it to the other apps, some apps may get their search traffic from branded terms mostly, and other apps will, get their search, traffic from the non-branded keywords. So what's going to happen is the apps that are getting most of their traffic from branded search have an ultimately higher conversion rate, because people are searching exactly for the branded term. But on the other side, if people are searching for a non-branded term, let's say a calculator app, right? People are less likely to download your app after searching for calculator app compared to the people who search for maybe like Apple calculator or something like that, So branded users have a lot more intention to download your app compared to the non-brand. So people should take the peer benchmark reports with a little a grain of salt. So that's my, overall analysis as how it's been working for us, or how we're pretty much not leveraging it that much.
Okay, I have learned a lot from you. So in general, you think that it's useful, but sometimes it may be misleading.
Yeah.
So I got the point. So Nadia, what do you think about this topic? Do you have any suggestions or opinions?
I agree that the benchmarks is very useful for marketers, because they always need to ask themselves if I'm within the market, if my campaign is going correctly, and whether I lose something. We in AdQuantum, we don't use Apple peers group benchmarks, because I think it's more available for the product side. However, we collect and pull together the benchmarks from our campaigns. We work with different kind of apps. It's fitness and health, fintech, gaming, educational apps. So I would say that we cover a lot of categories. And for our understanding, and also when we communicate with new clients, we need to evaluate their campaigns. So what we do in our team, we took the biggest campaigns from every segment of the apps and make like an average numbers. In general, we see that it's really very helpful and for our clients, because when they see the benchmarks, they can compare with in-house team and understand that, yes, we can do the same, or the agency can do better. Sometimes it's just a good sign that we understand each other and we know what we are talking about. And I would say that benchmarks is good to know. So everybody needs to use them for sure.
Okay. So by comparing their apps performance to similar apps, developers can identify areas of improvement and set realistic goals for their apps, as far as I understand.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay. But of course, as Ege told us, that there are also some misleading parts. So I think app developers should check new developments with these app Apple's peer group benchmarks? Because maybe there may have been updates. Maybe in the future there will be some updates in this Apple's peer group benchmarks as well, as the technology changes. Maybe. What do you think, again?
There are some like useful parameters that you can have a look at, like retention and crash rates, etc. They're pretty much, you know, okay to look at to benchmark yourself with the industry. But like from our side, for ASO especially, the conversion rate side of the peer group benchmarks can be like a little bit misleading. But as you said, if there are updates, I'm sure Apple is gonna be like making an update, but it might not come as soon as we'd like.
Okay. We are not gonna see this in the near future. Maybe we are gonna see it in the far future.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you look at the testing tool, we've had it, I think, at this point for a year now. So everybody's been pretty much, you know, unhappy with the testing tool because all the creative tests you launch were halted with new updates. So it took a solid year for Apple to update the testing tool. So let's keep the hopes.
Okay. Thank you for all. So we have learned about Apple's peer group benchmarks and whether it's useful or not, or how app developers should leverage it or not. Okay, moving to the next one. I think we are running out of a little bit time. I'm gonna start with my next discussion topic. I think we have maybe a fintech app developers, maybe fintech app owners here. I am not so sure, but we would like to know promotion of fintech applications. So if I have a fintech application, how I can promote it, Nadia? Can you give us some recommendations?
Yeah, thank you very much for this question. And actually, yes, I mentioned several times today about the fintech apps because currently a lot of like from the one side, ad platforms becoming more fintech friendly, I would say. And from like our perspective in AdQuantum, we have a lot of fintech products to promote. It also trading, brokers, apps and banking apps. And there are some difficulties to promote this kind of apps because of the regulation. Especially if we're talking about brokers and the trading apps, there are some regulated markets and non-regulated markets where there are a lot of restriction and some of the ad platforms cannot be accept to advertise such a platforms. So for such products, it's very crucial to have, first of all, the good media mix, to make a good ASO, because it's there are so many apps and they need to be visible on the stores. And if we're talking about the media mix, of course, marketers should consider the regulators and to know the rules of the ad platforms. And of course, to look at the rules where, in which countries and in which platform they can be promoted. So I would say there are a lot of alternative traffic channels for such kind of apps, such as in-app networks, where the rules not so strict, where also the clients can reach their target audience, and they work worldwide. So the whole world open to the clients. And if we're talking about Apple search ads, it's also one of the, I would say, one of the best channel, because it's very similar to the search like Google search, Bing, or any other advertisement platform where people just search. So clicking on the ads in Apple search, user more motivated to use the app, they more engaged to make the deposits or to make any actions. So yeah, in general, and of course the creative part, we also talked about the creative part and the difficulties to promote the financial apps. it's also about the regulator, because there are so many rules and requirements from the like lawyers of the fintech companies to make the disclaimers and etc. So we in AdQuantum, as we work with a lot of such clients, together with Upslayer, we made a very big research of the alternatives channels for the fintech apps. We also, I think we can leave the link for the visitors of our panel and to read carefully about the alternative traffic channels for the fintech. There are a lot of them, and to make the media mix for the fintech, we need to understand the tools of the channels, how we can optimize, what kind of the creatives we can use, because I think that recently a lot of clients, users, it came from user generation content like UGC creatives. They show, I would say, one of the best conversions. So from my perspective, to use the channel, it's good practice to see whether the platform can support such kind of creatives. It will be the best results, I think. And I don't know, Edgar, do you work with any fintech companies? Can you tell us a little bit more about ASO for fintech?
Yeah, sure. Well, from an ASO standpoint, a thorough keyword research is really important, and also the strategy that you set for yourself from an ASO standpoint is really important. Some of the most important fintech keywords can be very competitive. So if you're starting fresh or a small app, it can take time for you to get up the ranks, even if you're employing the best ASO tactics and tricks and the best practices, etc. So also from a keyword standpoint, that's that. And also the creative side. So like really continuous testing from a creative standpoint and screenshots can make a huge difference. We had like fintech clients that improved their conversion rates for up to like 5 to 6% with just one single creative testing. So like religious testing is really important. And one thing that you said really called my attention: Apple Search Ads. So Apple Search Ads is another tool that can make you have some impression share for the most important keywords for your app. So let's say if you're a money sending app, and if the space is really competitive, then you can leverage Apple Search Ads to capture some impression from that keywords by showing yourself at the top of the page, even though your organic ranking might be at the 50s, at the 40s, at the 30s. So it could be really important. It could be a really important tool, Apple Search Ads. And one other thing that you're able to do with Apple Search Ads is this new feature that Apple released, or relatively new feature that Apple released, custom product pages. So if you have a fintech app that's capable of serving people in different ways, it can be sending money, receiving money, or investing, or etc. You can create precisely optimized landing pages or product pages for each of these use cases. And then when you show your ad, you can have the relevant screenshots show up for, let's say, send money keyword query, or if people are searching for receive money or invest money, people can see the exact use case that you pretty much specifically created as a product page for the ad. So Apple Search Ads is a great complementary tool for leveraging or improving your ASO. So both ASO and Apple Search Ads go hand in hand, and we've been having great success with our finance category apps. So that's my 2 cents on how fintech advertising or user acquisition goes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. They were so interesting information, and we are going to move to the next discussion. So the next discussion will be, and the next and last discussion topic will be issues and pitfalls in promoting mobile apps through ASO and paid user acquisition. Ege, let's start with you. What do you think issues and pitfalls?
Let's start with the ASO side. There are a lot of pitfalls and issues with the UA that we talked of, but maybe I can start with ASO. So one issue for a lot of app is there's a lot of competition. There's intense competition, and it can take time to get to the ranks that you're desired for your app to get to. So a lot of people think ASO is one-off thing that you do and you stop after one round of optimization, but ASO is an ongoing thing, or a living organism that you have to be on top of your game, seeing or detecting the changes in the algorithm, tracking a lot of keywords, thousands of keywords, and measuring your overall visibility pretty much. So one issue that I stumble upon with a lot of people, they expect fast results, but results come in time and you have to be on top of your game, would be the one pitfall that people are falling. Another thing is, as I mentioned, there are a lot of changes with the algorithm. So if you're not keeping an eye on the rule changes or the updates, or change of algorithm per se, on a daily basis, you might be leaving a lot of visibility on the table and not leveraging the ASO up to its full potential. So another thing is changing algorithms and not people not pretty much following the recent changes. So at that point, we're pretty much come into play and help our clients, be on top of their games. And another thing or small issue with ASO is there's no data transparency. So there's no exact measurement as to how you're doing from after doing a certain optimization from a from a data standpoint or install standpoint, etc. But you have to have a system set in place, and you have to track all your metrics, all your keyword rankings, all your install channels, all your everything that you have going on week by week or day by day, and you have to pretty much make sense out of data to be able to identify the impact of the changes that you're making. So another pitfall is you need a lot of data analysis to be able to pretty much identify the improvement that you're getting out of your optimizations, or what you've done wrong, that your keyword rankings gone down, etc. So you need to be on top of your game from that standpoint too. And in ShyftUp we have our proprietary dashboard, metrical. We're pretty much able to pull every data you have into one dashboard and make sense out of data on a daily or weekly or monthly or yearly basis. So that's another issue that people face when dealing with ASO. But yeah, for the time being, for ASO, I think those are the comments that I wanted to make. Maybe Nadia could share some UA pitfalls and issues.
Yeah, sure. I agree that the market is very changeable, and marketers need to keep an eye on the all changes, amendments that can occur on the market. But I would like to mainly highlight the points about the unit economy, because one of the biggest pitfall in the paid UA, it's there is a chance that you will not have returns on the ad spend, and that's why you need to really marketers need to really understand the unit economy, need to count very accurate all the metrics on the funnel, and that's why we really insist to use any predictive analytics you can find on the market suitable for your product, because such tools can help you to make a right decision based on the data, and to make the decision fast in the moment. You need to make a decision whether I should scale or not. And this one of the biggest pitfall, that unit economy should be tracked very, very well. And of course, if you work with any partner and an agency, make sure that your partner understand your unit economy, and they also can be a little bit involved in the product side, because user acquisition, they work aligned with the product team. If there is a good product, there is a good marketing. So yeah, we need to work together to make a very good success.
Okay, thank you. I think we have covered many issues and pitfalls in promoting mobile apps to ASO and user acquisition. This was our last discussion topic, and finally, we are ending our webinar. And I would like to thank our audiences to be here, and I would like to also thank Ege and Nadia for giving us some insights and experiences for these topics. Do you guys anything to want to share, anything at the end of our webinar?
My pleasure. It's been a great pleasure having you both. And one thing that I wanted to mention, I saw a couple of questions that came from Taner and Merlin. They're like really solid questions on ASO, and paid site. If they're like able to like contact us from ShyftUp.com or our LinkedIn page or my personal page, I'd be more than happy to like address their questions. And thanks everyone for listening and yeah, tuning in.
And you have anything to share, Nadia?
Yeah, just a big thank for inviting to this panel. It was very interesting and insightful conversation. I learned a little bit more about SO, because we are doing only user acquisition. So it was interesting to learn something new. And yes, I also saw some questions. So it will be interesting to ask and discuss the questions. So I think visitors can reach us in LinkedIn or any other channels to discuss.
Yes, I see. So if you have any questions, anyone can reach us. We would be glad to answer your questions. And I would like to again thank our attendees and panelists. It was also my pleasure to host this webinar and to be a moderator. And this is the end of our webinar. I wish everyone a great day. Thank you for attending this webinar. Have a great day.
Thanks everyone. Have a great summer. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.